Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and I am back with another video. So today I decided that I was going to do a bit of a story time for you today. So I want to talk about how anime saved my life. Real far-fetched, right? And I'm not insinuating in any way that I was in a state of mind that I wanted to commit harm to myself, but I was not happy. So if you want to know details, let's get into it. Also, if you guys want to know more about me, I do have a 50 things about me. It'll be up in the card above, either here or here. It's over here, I think, or over here. I don't know. It'll be up above if you guys want to check out some more intimate details about myself. So today I am doing a video about how anime saved my life, kind of like a story time, just kind of like my evolution from a wee little thing to the anime loving girl I am today. I in no way was going to harm myself, so I just want to put that out there first. But I was not in a positive mindset, and anime helped me snatch up and out of that. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so where do I begin? Well, I was born in the 90s, and of course, you know, you've got the classics. You've got, you know, Dragon Ball Z, which I was never fully interested in because can y'all explain the plot? Are we done looking for the balls or what? So, you know, but I was always into nerdy things. I used to play the Atari with my dad. I used to play all those Mortal Kombat games. I sucked at all of them. I was very bad at all of them, but I geeked out about it. My father actually owned hundreds of comic book figurines. I'll put some pictures up to help explain what I'm saying for those of you really young ones. He was very much into the nerdier side of things, comic books, you talk superheroes, all of that. So I naturally gravitated towards that, being a daddy's girl. I was in love with comics and nerdy stuff. It was insane. So I was really into all that stuff, all your Marvel, your Disney, anything that wasn't deemed appropriate for girls, I liked. So yes, I can only play the female character, but I was gonna pick the most badass female character there was, i.e. Sindel. When I got to high school, of course I was into anime. I really liked Naruto, and I had a curfew, so I would sneak out and go downstairs super late at night and get really close to the TV so that I could hear the volume on volume 1, because Naruto came on at like 9:30 or something, and I was not allowed to be up at that time. I used to risk my life to watch anime because of my curfew, and my mom did not play. She was one of them black moms that was like, why aren't you asleep? As I got into high school, I started to notice that the other black kids around me were not like into anime. It was always the white nerdy ones, and it didn't solidify to me until I was like, I'm gonna join the anime club. And then I went to the very first meeting, and there were greasy white dudes. The black guys that were there were all ashy, had never heard of Vaseline. They were kind of looking at me like I shouldn't be there, and I just didn't really feel invited. So I naturally decided, okay, well, they don't want me there, so I'm gonna leave. I was like, I don't fit in with the typical nerd, so I'm just gonna back off from this because it's clearly not my thing, and if I'm not invited, then why even try to sit at the table? Then I got to college, and I completely ignored the fact that I was a nerd. I was trying so hard to fit in and make friends, and everything that I didn't really go crazy for Marvel movies like I usually would. I didn't really get super excited for the newest episode of this anime or that anime like I usually would, because I was so focused on I want people to like me, and I've noticed that people don't really like anime. The people that I want to hang out with don't like anime. So in my school, good old Valdosta State, there was this area in the student union called the Rotunda, where guys would play cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, you have it, whatever game it was, they would play. And I was always interested, but the like little person inside of me was like, no, because you'll be shunned like you were the last time. And the other part of me was like, but it looks so much fun. So I ignored it, and then I had my biggest like girl fight that I've ever been into. It was a fight of words, because we don't fight people, we do not put our hands on people. No, not Autumn. I remember being so just distraught, because I was like, oh, I thought these were my real friends, but clearly that was a lie. So going into my sophomore year, what I now know was depression. I went into a depression. I was very sad, I slept a lot, and it was like things that you don't recognize as depression until you're in it and done with it. I was not eating as I should have. I was very upset. I was putting my attention into things that I should not have been putting my attention into. Basically losing my identity while also being attacked for who I was as a person. So I ended up really being sad, and I think that lasted from sophomore year going into my junior year. And I remember I got really sick, and I caught this disease, and my lungs and my throat and everything was just acting funny. And I was like, you know, Netflix has a lot to offer. So I said, okay, I'm gonna start Naruto all the way from the beginning. I don't really have like people I can hang out with. My friends that I do have are usually always busy, and if I'm not at work, I'm asleep anyway, so let's just watch Naruto. I then began to realize, like, girl, you really like this stuff. You really like this stuff. And I could tell that my friends could tell that I was a little happier because I was doing what I actually liked, instead of trying to cover up my identity with the slapstick of black and, you know, oh, black people don't like that, and black people don't get into anime, and black people, you know, black people. Ended up finishing college, and I mean, although I wasn't completely happy, I still had something in my life that I could reconnect to as a child that reminded me of who I was as a child. I was this big fat nerd that was into everything weird and wanted to learn about all this stuff. So when I graduated from college, the first job that I had post-college was working at a hotel, and I wasn't getting paid a whole lot, but it was a lot for like my college dollars, because we was broke, honey. But I ended up buying a encyclopedia. So this is it, and I think these were like $60 a piece. You can still find them at Barnes and Nobles. This is by no means sponsored at all, but these things are amazing. So I started getting back into, once I started getting more into anime again, I started getting more into other genres like Marvel and DC and Capcom and all of that stuff that I was into before. I started watching your shows like Flash and Arrow. Even though I didn't finish Arrow, I watched like 3 episodes. But I started watching more shows that Marvel was doing and rewatching the Marvel movies and fact checking the hell out of them, because y'all not gonna sit here and change stuff up for the fans. Anyway, back to the point of the story. I had a moment where working at the hotel was very depressing. Not going straight into my degree or to my field after gaining my degree was really depressing, and I was upset and felt so inadequate, and the only thing that kept me going was looking forward to a new episode of anime. And I remember crying so hard when, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, if you have not finished it, I'm sorry, it's been years, finish it. But I remember like crying my little heart out when Neji died in Naruto Shippuden, and then realizing like, wow, this show has really been a significant part of my life. So once I got into that and I finished Naruto, and that was hard, that was tough, then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and rewatch all of my old favorite classics. So I picked up Sailor Moon again. I started watching the Yu Yu Hakusho again. As I was slowly reintegrating my way back into the blurred nerd world, I realized like, okay, there's a whole community here that is more accepting than they were back in 2009 and 2010. Hi, so it's editing autumn. I just wanted to say that in no way am I justifying my nerdness to anyone, but I wanted to just come and say, because I know that I was rambling, I love anime, video games, etc., K-pop, K-dramas. I don't need male approval on the matter. I do, however, wish to share my story in hopes that young girls like me can feel comfortable being into things that are considered different or weird. And so this video is kind of like my way of saying it's okay to like the weird stuff. So yeah, sorry if it was super rambly, but yeah, back to the video. And I think that's the joy of like progression. So I think that when it comes to black girls and black girl nerds, because I know you guys are out there, don't let these dudes tell you what you can and cannot like. Don't get like me and try to snuff out your identity because it's not black enough for you to like anime. And this whole narrative that liking anime is for clout are the same bullies that are telling people that cosplay is not for every skin color or whatever. So end of the story is I ended up finding myself through anime again rather than losing myself. My depression and my anxiety and fear and sadness that I dealt with all throughout college kind of just fizzled down a bit once I regained my love and passion for anime and comics and nerd stuff and anything under that blanketed umbrella of not normal. Being 26, so now we've got tons of years ahead of ourselves from when I first got into this. I have recently been really into true crime. I've been watching a lot of it. I've been turning into a bit of agoraphobic because that mess is scary. I have kind of been developing a new love for the not normal. You know, I was into it all in the beginning and I'll continue to be into it all today. So if I had any tips at all based on my little mini story time is do what you want, love what you want, love who you want, and do more of what makes you happy. Do more about what makes you yourself. Don't snuff out your personality for the people that you're around, basically. Because I would have found this community of black anime loving females a long time ago. I mean, now me and my best friend, we bond over anime TV shows and anime theme songs. I mean, if you've seen my previous video with my bullet journal, then you know this is really does mean a lot to me. So anyway, that is the end of my little story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a similar story about being into anime or being fearful of being into anime, go ahead and put those below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I will see you later.